This tutorial is the general overview and will cover the basics of using the program. When the program opens, you'll see the home screen. The home screen allows you to do things like open analysis files, reports, and view help. This tutorial is going to walk you through the sample project in the program. We encourage you to review it on your own. We also encourage you to watch all the movies incorporated in the program. It'll help you better understand how to use it. If you purchase the optional Business Valuation Report Writer, you'll see the Report Writer movies. If you only purchase the Professional Valuation program, you'll see the Quick Report Writer movie options. The program is organized into 5 tabs. The Home tab, as we already said, allows you to access commonly used tasks quickly. The Analysis tab is where you perform your valuation. The Report tab is where you create your written report based on the valuation. And the Workbook and Library tabs support the Report tab. The Workbooks tab allow you to add additional workbooks to your report. For example, if you want to pull in data, table, or charts from a workbook other than the workbook contained in the Analysis tab, then you can add them in the Workbooks tab. The Library tab allows you to easily organize pieces of Word documents or reports so that you can bring them into a current report quickly and easily. Well, let's get started and open the sample. Select Review a Sample Analysis, and on the right, we'll click on the sample project to open it. You'll notice the tab automatically switches to the Analysis tab with the file that you open loaded. Let's take a look at getting around the Analysis tab. You'll notice across the top are menus and toolbars, and there's a navigator on the left. The navigator will allow you to go through all the schedules in the program. Select an area you're interested in, and you'll see all the subschedules below. You'll notice that if you click another main area, the one above it collapses. This makes it easier to focus on just the schedules you're looking for. However, if you want to configure the navigator to behave in a different way, select the Configure button, and you can either view the navigator as an Explorer or a tree. If you select Tree, you'll notice it looks much more like Microsoft Explorer. You can also turn automatic collapse on and off. For those of you that want to see the entire tree while you're navigating through the program, select Manual, and you'll notice as you open up nodes, they don't automatically collapse. However, for this overview, we're going to set it back to the defaults. A quick way to find a schedule you're looking for is use the search button. For example, if you want to find where all the RMA schedules are in the program, type in RMA in the Find box, select Find Now, and you'll see all of the schedules containing RMA. You can click on a schedule and see it in the right-hand pane. Sometimes you'll want to hide the navigator so you can see more of the data input screen. Select the Hide Navigator button, and the navigator will collapse. Select the button again, and it'll reappear. If you click on one of the navigator sections that's not a schedule itself, you'll see a detailed list of all the schedules off to the right. You can think of this as a table of contents. You can click on any one of these schedules, and it'll bring that schedule up in the view. The Analysis section has a number of menus. The first one is the Analysis menu, which allows you to create new files, open files, and print files. Remember, you can create new files right from the Analysis tab. You don't have to use the home screen. If you want to create a new analysis or valuation project, just select New, Analysis, and your new project will be created. In the program, you can also create templates. In other words, you can customize a template to meet your own specific needs. Watch the Creating Templates tutorial for more details on that. To open a file, you can open an analysis file or a template. Close obviously closes the file. Save saves it. You can save it as a new name. Page setup works exactly like Excel. Print allows you to print a current sheet or multiple sheets. And there's a most recently used file list here as well to very quickly get to files that you most recently opened. The Edit menu allows you to edit the sheet name. The sheet name is the name of the sheet that gets printed. If you want to change the name of the sheet as it prints out, change it here. One of the most powerful features of the program is the ability to edit the underlying spreadsheets directly in Excel. This allows you to switch from the program interface to the Excel interface, which you're very familiar with. One word of caution. Although you can edit all of the formulas, formats, and underlying spreadsheets, do not change the structure of the financial statements. You can edit the formats, underlines, fonts, dollar signs, etc., but don't change the structure. And don't use copy, cut, and paste, because if you inadvertently do something wrong, you'll disrupt the integrity of the financial statements, and it'll be very hard to recover. Outside of the financial statements, we encourage you to go in and change the structure if you'd like to. You can add rows and columns, put in footnotes, change the formulas. Just be aware it's a complicated spreadsheet with a lot of links, so make sure you understand what you're doing before you do it. When you select the OK button, you'll see Excel showing you the exact same schedule you're looking at in the program. When Excel appears, you can take a look at formulas, change formats, or customize any part of the schedule. You'll notice there's some rows and columns that the program uses. Columns A through J and rows 1 through 10. Please make sure you don't change these. For more details on editing Excel, see the Editing in Excel video. When you're ready to return to the program, select the Return button. If a report is open, you can select the Copy Link button. This will allow you to copy links from the Analysis tab into the Reports tab. You can also automatically paste the link into the report at the current cursor setting in the report. The view will allow you to turn the Navigator button on and off, just as you did with the little triangle button. The Database menu will allow you to access all the databases that feed into the program. You can actually download them into the section of the program that's appropriate by using these menus. You'll also notice on the Navigator there's a Data section. You can select any one of the schedules that contains data, and you'll notice there's a button at the top that allows you to download the database into that schedule. The Tools Options menu will allow you to set the options for the program. The Restore function will allow you to store formulas in the program itself. For example, a blue number is a formula that you can overwrite. If you type over the number and want to get back to the original formula, select either the single cell or the range of cells and go to Tools Restore, and it will restore it back to its default state. This way you can easily overwrite blue numbers and restore the formulas back to their original state. Create Chart allows you to create a chart anywhere in the program. If an Excel schedule is visible, you can highlight the rows and columns you want to chart and select Create Chart. Then you can go into Excel to customize the chart. You can also delete any custom charts you create. You cannot delete charts that are by default in the application. You can also create a report from the Tools menu. This is the same thing as going to the Report menu and selecting Create Report. There's also Information Request document you can view and print. The Help menu gives you access to a number of areas of help about the program. The most comprehensive portion of help is the help file itself. We encourage you to review it. There's also a number of web links for the ValuSource homepage, for ValuSource technical support, and Key Value Data Home. And if you ever want to see what version your program is, select the About Program dialog box and you can see the version information. Let's quickly review the toolbar buttons. The first button is Save All. This Save All button, which you'll see on every tab, saves the information under all of the tabs: Analysis, Report, Workbooks, and Library. The first tab to the right of the menu is File New. This will create a new project. The next one is Open. This will allow you to open an existing project. And Save will save just the file under the Analysis tab. Print will print the current sheet. Edit directly in Excel will open the project in Excel to edit. If you have a report open, the Copy Link button will be enabled. This will allow you to copy a link, a number, a table, or a chart from your Analysis tab into your report. Remember, this creates a hot link, so if the numbers, tables, or charts ever change in your analysis, they'll automatically change in your report as well. The Paste Link button will allow you to automatically paste that link into the current cursor position of the report. The forward and backward buttons on the toolbar are very handy. For example, if you're at a page where there's a button that has the assumptions on it, you can go to the assumptions for that schedule and then just select the back button to take you right back from where you were. You can use the forward button as well to walk you through the last number of schedules that you visited. The last toolbar button is Restore. This allows you to restore the formulas in the schedule. It's exactly the same as Tools Restore. There are many schedules in the program that have taskbar buttons. We already talked about the title button. It allows you to change the title of the schedule. If there's a database available in the schedule, there'll be a button to allow you to download the data into the schedule. Also, certain sections of the schedule you can turn on and off. For example, cash flow calculation can be turned on and off by using the cash flow calculation button. The same is true with pre-tax. You can turn a piece of the schedule on and off. Sometimes there's links to other schedules. For example, sustainable company growth is another schedule. Clicking that button brings you back to that schedule. If you select the back button, you'll go back to your original schedule. And any schedule that's affected by assumptions has an assumptions button to take you to the assumptions for that schedule. Once again, if you select the assumptions button, select the back button to take you back to that schedule. There's different taskbar buttons for every schedule. In the historic balance sheet, for example, you can change the title, turn analysis on and off, go to the assumptions page, insert accounts, move accounts, delete accounts, and edit accounts. We encourage you the first couple of times through the program to experiment with each one of the taskbar buttons to understand what they do. Now that we know the general layout of the program, let's walk through the steps of performing a valuation. The valuation is done on the Analysis tab, or you could think of the Analysis tab as the spreadsheets, and the Report tab is the Word document. Start at the top of the navigator and work your way down. The first stop on the navigator is Project Assumptions. These are the highest level assumptions for the project. For example, the kind of entity you're valuing, the fiscal period, begin and end dates, the number of balance sheets that you want to show, and whether you're calculating equity or enterprise value. So once you've finished completing the main project assumptions, go to the Setup section, and you'll notice there's another set of assumptions. There's assumptions throughout the program. Make sure you're familiar with all of the options because they affect how the program calculates and displays data. Once you've filled in the assumptions for setup, go to Business Profile. This is general information about the business. Then go down the list. Now remember, you don't have to fill out every schedule, just the ones that you're interested in. However, under Setup, you'll probably want to fill out most of these. You'll notice there's charts in the schedules as well. The charts have a chart icon to the left. The spreadsheets have a little grid. The next schedule is Report Writer data. If you've purchased the Business Valuation Report Writer optional add-on, this data will flow into the report and automatically populate fields. The federal tax table is defaulted, but you can override it if you need to. Let's move to the financial statements. Under the assumptions, there's a number of assumptions that affect the financial statements. You can show out-of-balance indicators on the balance sheet. If you have a partial period, there's a number of ways to annualize them. There's a check mark that will allow you to include COGS and inventory in the financial statements. You can also select pass-through for Subchapter S and partnership entities. The first thing you'll want to do is input the balance sheet. In this example, we've set the assumption so it's only showing the most current balance sheet. You can set the assumption so you can input either the most current or all the balance sheets, as well as adjust either the current or all of the balance sheets. Now is a good time to review where you input data in ValueSource Pro. Numbers that you input have a white background. Numbers that are calculated have a blue background. If there's a blue number with a blue background, that's a formula that we assume you'll want to change and you can override it. And remember, if you ever want to restore a default formula in ValueSource Pro, select Tools, Restore. The financial statements in the program have a lot of power and flexibility, and there's also a lot of options. We encourage you to watch the video on financial statements, which walks through all of this in detail. Once you've finished the balance sheet, you can move to the income statement. You'll notice all the years are available for input. You'll also notice there's taskbar buttons at the top of the income statement. These allow you to turn the analysis on and off. In other words, to the right of the income statement is some analysis which can be turned on or off. You can go to the Assumptions page, insert, move, delete, or edit accounts. Once you're done filling out the income statement, you can move to the adjustments. To edit the adjustments on the balance sheet, select an item you want to adjust and select the Edit Adjustments button. Remember, you have to select the Edit Adjustments button to bring up the dialog to make adjustments. insert a key, insert the adjustment amount, and then make a note. Once you're done adjusting the balance sheet, you can move to adjust the income statement. Notice there's an income statement adjustment for every year that you input. It works exactly the same way. Select a category you want to adjust and select the Edit Adjustments button to input the adjustment. Once you're done making the adjustments, you can review the adjusted balance sheets and the adjusted income statements. There's also a number of working trial balance schedules for both the balance sheet and the income statement. These not only show you the adjusted balance sheets, but if you scroll off to the right, you'll see your notes to the adjustments. The same is true for the income statements for every year that you adjusted. The notes will appear to the right. Let's move to the financial analysis section of the program. Remember to review the assumptions. Most of this analysis happens automatically. In other words, it's all pre-calculated. If you have RMA or IRS data or custom comparisons you want to input, you can use those to create comparisons. Let's review a couple of these statements. Here's the historic common size statements. You can also take a look at the common size adjusted statements, historic statements, and adjusted income statements. You can also take a look at financial statement trends, compound annual growth, multi-year. Also, there's schedules for margins and return on equity. There's also a benefit stream analysis, RMA comparisons, IRS comparisons, and custom comparisons. And remember, for all the schedules that have data available for them, you'll see a taskbar button that allows you to download the data. Now let's move to the heart of the program, the appraisal section. There's a number of subsections. Premiums and discounts allow you to set up premiums and discounts before you actually perform the valuation. Once again, remember to take a look at the assumptions. Under assets and liabilities, there's a number of schedules that allow you to calculate adjusted non-operating assets and excess and non-operating assets. Under the asset approaches are historic book value, adjusted book value, and liquidation value. Under historic book value, you can see the indicated value page calculates the selected book value. And remember, any number in blue you can overwrite. Also remember, any number in black just requires going to the Edit in Excel button, and you've got access to the entire spreadsheet. The next section is the income approach, and there's some general schedules. Adjusted non-cash items, long-term sustainability, company-specific risk. These apply to the schedules below. Here's where all the valuation methods are. Let's walk through a couple of them. For capitalization of earnings, remember, once again, you want to select assumptions and select all the assumptions that are appropriate. Under benefit stream analysis, you'll be able to weight the benefit stream for the capitalization of earnings. Under capitalization rate, you'll be able to get SPVI data, show or hide cash flow calculations, pre-tax calculations, as well as go to the sustainable growth and assumptions pages. The indicated value page shows the indicated value. Once again, it's in blue, so it can be overwritten. The sensitivity schedule shows you the sensitivity of the value based on sustainable growth and the discount rate. There are 3 DCF models in the program. The first is the multi-stage growth model. This model simply projects net income. There are a number of assumptions, and it allows you to select a benefit stream, a projection method, calculate a discount rate, and then come up with an indicated value. An enhancement to this version of the program is the summary DCF model. This allows you, after filling out some general assumptions, to put in a few projection assumptions. And then you can calculate full balance sheet and income statements, as well as common size balance sheet and income statements and financial performance ratios. From there, you select a benefit stream, a discount rate, and an indicated value is calculated. The detailed DCF model allows you to project every line item in the income statement and balance sheet in detail. After filling out the general assumptions, move to the projection methods and assumptions section. Under the balance sheet, you can select every item in the balance sheet and select projections. A projection dialog will appear and allow you to select how to grow every line item. Once you specify the assumptions for projecting every item on the balance sheet and income statement, you can input capital expenditures and long-term debt. Once all of your assumptions are input, you can review the calculated projected balance sheets, common size balance sheets, income statements, etc. The Valuation tab allows you to select a benefit stream, a discount rate, and an indicated value, just like all the other DCF methods. Capitalization of excess earnings works very much like capitalization of earnings, so we're not going to go into detail here. The market approach is broken down into two sections: commercial data sources and other data sources. Many of the commercial data sources are available as an add-on product to the program. Let's review how BizComps works. Select the BizComps option, fill out the assumptions for BizComps, go to the data screen. Since this is available as an add-on product, you can select the Get BizComps Data, which will load the BizComps program and allow you to download the data directly into the program. After downloading the data, you want to select the earnings base. The earnings base is appropriate to the database that you downloaded. You can weight the BizComps seller discretionary earnings as well as the revenue base, because there's multiples for each. Under indicated value, you'll see the revenue multiple and the seller discretionary earnings multiple. All the other commercial data sources work the same way. Let's take a look at some of the other data sources. Let's review the Guideline Public Company method. First, fill out the assumptions. Go into the Multiples page and enter the multiples. Once you enter the multiples, you're going to have to weight and select a base for each kind of multiple that you entered. You'll notice on the indicated value page, you'll see a section for each one of the multiples that you entered. All the other sections under Other Data Sources function the same way. Once you're through with the appraisal process, you can move to the Conclusions of Value section. Under the Assumptions for Conclusions of Value, you'll see a number of options. These will be grayed out if under the General Project Assumptions you've selected to apply premiums and discounts to the method level rather than the Conclusion of Value level. If you had chosen to apply these at the Conclusion of Value level, these would all be enabled. The Conclusions of Value schedule allows you to review all the conclusions. Let's hide the navigator so we can see more of the schedule. You can weight all of the methods as well as tell the program whether these methods were considered and used, considered and rejected, or not considered and rejected. This section on the end is for the Business Valuation Report Writer. It will help automatically build the valuation report. The next section is Sanity Checks. This will give you a relative value analysis page as well as a justification of purchase. You can input hypothetical terms of sale and calculate a projected post-sale cash flow to see if the value you arrived at would cash flow in the real world. We've finished the valuation, but there's a couple of sections left on the navigator. The first is Custom Worksheets. Custom Worksheets will allow you to input your own data into a section of the program. The easiest way to do this is select on the Custom Worksheet, select Edit in Excel, and then you can use Excel to directly input some custom worksheets. The final section of the program is the Data section on the navigator. This shows you where all the databases download into schedules in the program. For example, if you select SBVI, you'll see that the SBVI data is used in a number of schedules. You can select one of the schedules and see exactly where it's downloaded. From here, you can also select the Get SBVI Data button, and it will download the data directly into the schedule. This is the end of the general overview tutorial.